Hey everyone, welcome back to Open. Our next guest is a producer, video editor, motion graphics artist, instructor, and her latest documentary project, Hoop Warrior, which is a documentary that explores the undeniable connection between basketball and the socio-political context of Puerto Rico as a U.S. territory. And so while she's still developing this documentary and editing, she crafts her sustainable handmade jewelry line called Ecobloom. And these pieces are handcrafted from discarded paper flyers and decorated with beautiful semi-precious stones and natural materials, which I happen to be wearing right now. And here to share more, we welcome back another friend of mine, producer, video editor, motion graphic artist, instructor, and Ecobloom creator and founder, Melisa Ramos.
Thank you, Rhina. Thank you so much for having me. And happy birthday.
Thank you, Bella. Thank you for making the time to be here. I'm in awe over this concept. I'm a fan of Ecobloom. I mean, I'm wearing these today because this is your latest style, right? The dangly ones, but I have the other ones, and I think it's important that we share with our viewers that, this is available and it's upcycling, which is really eco-conscious, right? And I think we all need to operate with that mindset, right? But before we go into that, let's talk a little bit about how you even got into it, right? Because I introduced the fact that while you're editing and your materials rendering, you actually start using your hands to craft, right?
Yes.
Wow. So how did you discover that?
I mean, I have worked like with tiny things since I was a kid, and then I started doing jewelry, and I studied film, and I love everything I do on the computer, but the computer has this pause. And during that pause, I just like roll my paper and assemble my pieces. And for me, besides the art, it's very like therapeutical.
Do you want to pull it up just so that they could see what we're looking at?
So Ecobloom pieces are made out of flyers, and flyers, because they're a little plastified, they're glossy.
This is what, a bracelet?
This is a belt.
A belt, oh, look at that.
It has around almost 90 beads made out of paper, right?
Uh-huh.
And you can use it as a necklace too, if you like a heavy
If I would have known, I would have worn this.
African-style necklace.
Look at that. I'm over here like, wait a minute. This matches my outfit, right?
It does.
It does, right? I was like, nobody gave me the memo. Nobody sent me the memo. I would have worn this too.
Looks beautiful.
No, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. And how long does it take you to make something like this?
Depends. The most work are this type of rolling and assembling, and it can take a few hours. The quickest are like the small earrings that can take me like an hour. And I work like one day I'll do the piece, another day I'll add the stones, and the last is to add the findings. But I assemble everything. I also make the attachments for the stones and the detailing. I also use other discarded materials like headphone cables. I use as well.
And I see over here you use string, right?
I use hemp, wood, yes, and this is string. And most that I find discarded at my own home,
right,
that can have another use and that is aesthetically pleasing. There's so much that we discard that it's beautiful.
Yeah, it is beautiful. And it's light too, I want to add, right?
Yes.
So, we tend to wear big earrings at whatever cost of like pulling down our ears. And so these are light. So I really appreciate that aspect of your jewelry making as well. But let's talk a little bit about you as a filmmaker and just even you and our relationship, right? Before we even go into our relationship, let's talk a little bit about the wonderful series you had running on PBS, where you're at now with Hoop Warrior, and what's coming.
Well, yeah, I would say during the pandemic, I shot a docuseries called From Performers to Spectators to feature performers and what was their process during the lockdown. I thought the performers were the artists that most affected, right? Because I work at home, I roll my paper, I'm on my computer, but I thought, what would a singer feel? Right? If it's told that your performance is a threat, right? What is that feeling? And it was a very liberating experience for me to interview, and also it is my first piece on PBS.
And you have what, like 7 episodes? I think
6 episodes.
6 episodes.
18 interviews in total.
And it's still there, right?
It's still
online.
there.
I mean, it's not airing on the actual Arts channel anymore.
No, it's online on the All Arts channel and on the PBS 13.
Right. And so there's that. And then there's me, right? Because Melisa is one of my producers. And we work together on a series called Latine Luminaries. And Latine Luminaries is housed by Lincoln Center. And this flyer that she's pulling up right now, if you look at it, right? That's the flyer I use as cue cards. Guess what? That's what my earrings are made of. Isn't that cool? Yeah. So it's symbolic too. It's not just beautiful wearing earring. There's symbolism behind it. So this is a memorabilia as well.
Exactly, and it'll live forever.
I love that.
It won't be discarded.
I love that.
And that's what I like to the audience to embrace with the product, that is made of something that represents a moment.
And so how do you collect the materials? Like, do people submit them to you? Do you do it based on the projects you work on?
Well, I have 3 organizations now, which one is yours, La Rhina del Barrio, which is going to be providing flyers, and we're going to be making pieces out of her flyers. Bregones Theater hands me flyers, and I collect where I go.
Right.
But where I see like taste and balance and colors.
Right.
So it's not just any flyer.
Right.
And that the textures, I know like when I'm gonna roll it, how the piece is gonna come out. So I saw this one and I already was like, oh, this is perfect. Look at these goldish colors.
The colors, we're not looking at them right now, but just in showing this, what she's talking about, can we show this? Yeah, so in showing what she's talking about, right? I want to say I knew she was going to make me a pair of earrings from this, and so I kind of designed my outfit because I didn't know what it was going to end up being, but I knew that it was going to have a pop of like gold in it.
Gold.
And so you have to have a certain eye for that as well.
Yes.
Like if you're able to see it before you even put it together.
Yeah, but that's years.
That's years of doing this. How long have you been doing this?
It, 20 years.
20 years.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. And this is just in your pastime.
Yes.
Like you don't have enough on your plate.
I know, but it is online now, eco-bloom.com. Yeah, but it's just, it doesn't die. Like I keep doing and I keep selling and I keep doing, and someone hands me another flyer and then I see another. For me, it's also appreciating the art of another artist, right? Because I'm inspired by the design. So it nurtures me in so many aspects.
Yeah.
And if we do a photo shoot, then you're embellishing a model, like I think it brings so much.
Right. It's like art feeding art.
Yes.
Yeah, and it sounds like it's therapeutic for you too.
It is.
Yeah, we always talk about that, right? Because you have to sit there, you have to be patient to wait for that to render, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it detaches me from the digital in order to go back to work with my hands, which is my main art since I was a child.
Wonderful.
So it brings me like sort of like earth.
Yeah.
That's how I feel.
Yeah, so it's like realigning balance. I love it. So before we go, because they're wrapping us, just talk really quickly about Hoop Warriors, where you're at with that.
So Hoop Warrior is a documentary that follows the life of my nephew, Jorge Matos, who's a professional basketball player in Puerto Rico. And it's about what is it to come from the hood to make it to be a professional basketball player and represent Puerto Rico internationally. And what we want to achieve with this story, besides telling his story, is to show like that we have possibilities in our communities, no matter your background or your social status. That when you have passion for something, you just go for it. So in an athlete, you can see as much passion as an artist. So it's a very humanistic approach that I have, and it's a film about men, basically.
Yeah. Who doesn't like that? Sweaty men at that. Oh, did I say that on air? I did.
Directed by a woman, so I've been 2 years, and all these basketball games internationally. I mean, it's interesting. It's different.
I'm looking forward to it. But you're very artistic in the way you shoot, because I've seen some images where you're shooting from an arrow point standpoint, and it actually looks very earthy.
Very earthy. I mean, there's like all the basketball courts in Puerto Rico that are next to the beach, because I want to depict how it became part of our culture. And it's something we inherited from New Yorkers.
Right. Nice.
The sport. So that for me is very important too, to highlight that it's that we got it from our New Yorkers, and that's also our culture.
Right. Playing basketball by the beach, no less. Can't wait to see it. But after all is said and done, I just love that even in all your work, you're incorporating modern and past, right? Because there's the digital, and there's the modern, like, movement of the times, and then somehow you incorporate that earthy, let's get in touch with our origins as human beings, and it also seeps through your storytelling style. So thank you for bringing here. Thank you for being my sister, Melisa, all these years.
Thank you.
And you guys, once again, Melisa Ramos, producer, video editor, motion graphic artist, instructor, and Ecobloom creator. If you're interested in some of these areas, you can check out Ecobloom at eco-bloom.com. That's the website, eco-bloom.com. And for more on Hoop Warrior, you can visit hoopwarrior.com. It's still in development, so you should definitely check out that website. All right, stay tuned. There's more Open when we return.